Welcome to Markets Now. I'm Michelle Rook with DuWayne Bosse with Bolt Marketing, and we're seeing just about everything higher except for the corn market. And DuWayne's coming to us from the cab of his tractors. They're out doing corn harvesting today. And how are things running up there?
Things are running really well. I like the yield. We're well above APH, but we were wetter all summer long too, which has been actually a little bit of a problem. But I hate to say that out loud nationwide because obviously it was more of a nationwide drought this year. So no, yields are good. Moisture's coming in a little higher than I anticipated at about 21 to 21 and a half. So everything's going in the wet bin and we're kind of to drier speed. So it's not full days and harvest might take a while, but if your harvest takes a long time because of bushels, you really can't complain. So it's going well, I guess, Michelle.
Yeah, and you're up in northeastern South Dakota, and obviously things going a little bit slower than even last year because you guys were a little bit wetter up there even last year, weren't you?
Yeah, we were a little wet last year, but the fall was pretty good. This fall has been just tiny little sprinkles here and there, and then some snow on Friday that kept us out till Tuesday afternoon late. So we've had more harvest delays this year, but whatever, that's typical. I'm usually locked down in the office with a whole bunch of computer screens, so I just enjoy the tractor time. So if it stretches out into Thanksgiving, well, so be it.
Well, I'm glad we made this work. We've been talking about having you do markets from the tractor cab for a while, so I'm glad it worked. You're talking about some of those extra bushels there as the combine goes by behind you.
Yep.
And, do you think that's why we continue to see some maybe harvest pressure here in this corn market, DuWayne?
Yeah, I do. That corn market is really boring. I wish it would wake up and do something, but I also don't want to poke the bear because we're right near harvest lows. And I've been one of the guys out there saying that I think we've seen the harvest low. So I don't want to see it make new lows and go lower. And I still think it's going to hold. But I think you're right. There's a lot of, we're about 75% done as a nation with corn harvest. A lot of times those last bushels after all the bins are full at the farm tend to go to town. So I think you're right. I wonder if there isn't a lot of harvest pressure going on, a lot of farmers selling, pushing that market lower, and not a lot of bullish news, of course, either, Michelle. We are looking at a 2.2 billion bushel ending stock, and exports haven't been the best. So there isn't much news to drive it higher right now either.
Yeah. Argentina, though, it looks like has gotten a few rains. I don't know if that's playing into the psychology at all of this market or not. What do you think?
Well, I think it held it down a little bit, kept it in check, stopped us from rallying at all. Yeah, South America's had some better weather last week and a half, I'd say. Argentina, for sure. Southern Brazil's getting a little too wet, I'd say, not getting there. They've been that all season so far. So that's a little different.
Yeah. So we put in a new low close for the move yesterday in the corn market. The old low that you talk about, 467 3/4. So you think that'll hold, or you hope it holds anyways? Yeah.
Right, as I'm combining myself. Yeah, I hope it holds. I think it will. We've gone to the sidelines on all of our short hedges on corn. I think we're just at a low enough area that I think with the US dollar starting to go lower, I think you're going to see some more value buyers come in here. Mexico. I'd love to see China step in and buy some corn, but I think that would take that weather scare in South America, I think, to really get going, which maybe we're not far from that. If it gets a little hot and dry, it's early in the season there. We could get that weather scare, I'm hoping. Honestly, I think the best thing for the corn market is if the soybean market rallies hard, because that's the one that has a bit of a bullish story.
Right. And it's up today. How much of that is, some of the South American weather issues we talked about? I know production has been downgraded by a few firms. Or is this all this China business that we continue to hear rumored in the market?
Maybe a little bit of both, but the China rumors stay out there, and they should. Overnight, I think there was one news article that talked about China buying 105 million metric ton this year, where before it was like 95, and it's been creeping up higher and higher. So their demand must be a little bit better than anticipated. But I do still think it's sad. You can tell they're sitting back just waiting to see if they can buy everything from Brazil. They can. They'd rather not buy from us. That's where we need that weather scare to spike up. A little bit of weather scare in South America, if that production isn't going to be, well, it's probably going to be record either way, but just how large will it be and when will it come off? If we get delayed planting down there, maybe China has to buy a few more soybeans from us. But you're right, there's been a lot of talk of them switching 8 to 10 cargoes from Brazil to us, but we haven't had any confirmation on that yet. So that's a little bit depressing and holding the bean market back a little bit, but well supported. And I think if we get that weather scare I've been babbling about, I think we can see $14 January beans.
Okay, we'll watch for that. I know This morning, the weekly exports were maybe just a little bit disappointing. We haven't seen any of these flash sales here from China, so we'll kind of be watching for that, I guess. Wheat market, the dollar pulling back here, maybe helping that market out, or is this just short covering because we're so darn oversold?
We're so oversold, and that market just is due for a bounce so badly. I mean, usually we're supposed to put the harvest low first in the wheat market and rally that back. And boy, we did not do that. Haven't done it yet. So, and you would think everyone who's short the market once is already short. I'm just thinking we run out of sellers here in wheat. I don't have a lot of bullish stories other than wheat is cheap globally. And even Russia's getting to the point where I think they're going to start supporting their prices a little bit, but they're still cheaper than us. So, man, I think we got to find value in this wheat market here. I don't know how much of a rally we can get, but I sure want to say that we're at the lows.
Hey, I should ask you this as a follow-up. You said $14 January beans. Soybean meal put in a new contract high and has reversed, and we're still consolidating under those levels. Can we get to 14 without help from the meal market?
No, we can't. But I think the meal market has already done its job. You look at one of those charts, the meal market is shot way up. I think beans are just waiting to rally up to catch it.
Gotcha. Okay, let's move over to cattle. We're up today. We went up and filled these chart gap areas, at least in the December contract, but we've been kind of failing to move much farther than that. Feeders are having a pretty good day, though. So what are you seeing here in this market?
Little surprised today. We've been waiting for a rally back in the feeders and the live cattle. Of course, we digested that bearish cattle on feed reports, more numbers in feedlots than we expected. Actually, really a lot more than I anticipated. But it's still tight nearby for the cash ready fat steers, right? So cash market was better last week around that 184, 185. So that keeps the nearby futures of the live cattle up. The feeder market today kind of up out of nowhere, I would say. Lighter volume though, remember in feeders, funds basically were out of all their long positions before. So maybe we can make a little bit bigger recovery than I thought here in this feeder market, but I've been eyeing it ever since we've had this downward trend of, can we get a pop and look to sell? Not as a spectator, of course, but just as a hedger. These are really good levels, Michelle. And 241 for January feeders. I mean, we'll see how we close today, but I'm keeping an eye on it as a place to hedge, actually. And we're still selling some LRP insurance all the way for next year's calves. Just great prices, great place to protect. Now, supplies stay tight in 2024, so I think we can have a rally, but I think it comes down to, Michelle, I don't think the funds are going to just come running back in and buy this market, not at the end of this quarter anyway.
No, I'm with you on that. They've liquidated a lot of their length, though. So, they've taken some pressure off the market. But I agree with you. I like the fact that feeders are actually leading today. They haven't been. But you also look over at the equity sector today and yesterday, S&P and Dow are up big. So how much of that is influencing some of this buying?
Well, I think that has a lot to do with it. We got through the Fed speech yesterday. Now, all of a sudden today, we got the equities up 350, the crude oil up $1.80. So I think that spills over and helps maybe the long index fund traders maybe buy a little bit of feeders as well to be long for the long haul. Yeah, I think that absolutely helps. You also got the US dollar down 650 points. So it all helps. But exports were nothing great for beef this morning, and they're not going to be. And maybe that's where I'm the bear in this. Our supplies are tight and they'll stay that way. But if our exports go down to next to nothing, then we're going to have enough beef on hand to get through.
And the hog market back up here today after kind of a reversal yesterday on some profit taking. We're back up into this chart resistance here at that 50% retracement level, at least on the February contract. Can we take that level out and keep going here or close it above that level here today anyways?
Boy, I don't think so, but the market is sure strong as we're doing this interview here. I wonder, production-wise, let's start there first domestically. I mean, I think we got plenty of supplies here. Exports were fine, but nothing special. There's nothing in our domestic market that says this hog market has to rally. There is a little bit of a story, though, of course, of ASF, those number of cases starting to spike up in China again. Maybe this is some speculators trying to get ahead of a bigger story there and buy this hog market, because I sure wouldn't be buying it this sharply higher today. So that's where I'm sitting on the hogs. Okay.
Well, how much harvest do you have left?
A lot. I think we can do a couple more interviews from here.
Okay,
we're going to be going right into Thanksgiving.
Maybe we will catch you in the cab here in the next week or so yet.
Sounds good. Yeah, I better go catch him. I suppose he's getting full by now, huh?
Yep, you better catch that one this time when he
All
comes.
right,
All right,
thanks.
thanks for joining us, DuWayne Bosse with Bolt Marketing. That is Markets Now.